Hi, welcome back to Glow with Shelly. Today's video is all about the Hydra Pen. I have the H6. You may have another version. However, we are going to be talking about all things Hydra Pen, all questions answered, tips and tricks to really get your skin glowing with the Hydra Pen. I think you're gonna really like this. So let's get started. First things first, I want to talk about microneedling. If you've never done microneedling, what is it? It's collagen induction therapy. And honestly, it boosts your collagen. It creates micro tears in your skin, and those micro tears in your skin send your body's healing response to come in and repair that damage. And when it does, it boosts your collagen up, it boosts your elastin up, and it makes huge changes to your skin through basically wound healing, very tiny concentrated wounds. And I'm gonna tell you guys, just like I was at dinner last night with some girlfriends and they were asking me like, what's the one thing, like if I could invest in one thing, just one thing, Shelly, what do I need to do now in order to make my skin change? And I said, one thing, microneedling. Because microneedling next to tretinoin, and I even think microneedling has made more changes than tretinoin. My two biggest game changers, they have turned my skin around. Y'all know I'm like almost 50. I looked older 10 years ago than I look today. It has made such a difference in my skin. It's increased my collagen, increased my elastin, and I never, ever get pegged for how old I am in person every day. I get it all the time. In lines, everywhere I am. It's like, wait, you're what? How old are you? So I'm telling you, this is a game changer. If you can do it, do it. So let's talk about how to prep for needling, because you want to get the most out of your needling treatment. And the only way to get the most out of your needling treatment is to make sure that you have prepped properly. You have to have all of your materials. You need to have everything ready, your gloves, your serums, your needling equipment, all of it needs to be on hand and ready to go so that you can start your session. Then the next thing that you need to do, the thing that you need to think about is you need to do some kind of pre-needling exfoliation. And I would choose a quick enzymatic exfoliation. So I've got a glycolic acid here. I'll put some of these in the description box. It doesn't matter what kind you use. Just make sure it's an AHA and BHA only, and that it does take the surface layers off. The other one I have is the ordinary AHA 20%, BHA 2%. This little baby is amazing. Even just putting this on for 3 minutes would be a good pre-prep. So do just like an enzymatic wipe, you know, like a little peeling pad, something like that. Just get that surface layer of skin off. You don't want that surface layer to be there before you needle. Okay, then you need to pick your depths, okay? Needle depths are so important, and you need to kind of quadrant off your face. So like my forehead, I know my forehead is tender. I know up here especially is going to be super tender. So like with my forehead, I tend to stick to a 0.5 to a 0.75. So I know that's about the range I'm going to start at and I'm going to end at in my forehead. I'm probably not going to go up higher than that unless I wanted to get it deeper, and then I'd probably only go up to 1 millimeter. So you really need to think about the range for all the quadrants of your face so that you are going in with a plan, because if you don't, then you could end up accidentally needling a different depth on one part of your face. So it's really important to have that picked out. Your cheeks, you're gonna want the deepest depth. They have the most surface area, and the skin here, the epidermis is a little thicker. The dermis is pretty thick, and so you're not really gonna get toward that subcutaneous fat layer, even going fairly deep. So you could go up on your cheeks higher than your forehead area. Your nose also is going to be super tender, just like your forehead. In fact, I think the nose on the skin on the nose, at least up here on the bridge, is going to be a little bit more tender. And then down here, you're going to have a little bit thicker skin, so you could possibly go higher. But these you kind of need to pre-think about. So we get down to the essentials. So we've pre-exfoliated, we've done all that. And now for the pen. So I pulled out this little needle. I'm going to show it to you, right? And it has this little stopper thing right here, this black thing that basically you put the serum into here, into this chamber, and then it goes through and comes up here and goes into the needles and comes out. Now, one of the things that is hard about this pen is loading this chamber once it's been loaded. You basically have to put it in with a serum on this side, like that. So the pen part will go in the front where this is, and the serum part will be in the back. And you just clip it like that. So it's pretty easy to load, as you can see. And then to get it out, you just have these little things and you can just pull it right back out. Okay. So it's actually pretty easy to load once you figure out how to do it. The hard part though is the serums, because remember I told you could use that timeless. Well, we can't use that. We can only use We the People, and I'll put that in the description box. That's a Korean brand, or the Baha. Both are 100% hyaluronic acid. Now, if you notice, the Baha, I can show you, is extremely thick. So it has a much thicker viscosity. So I'm going to show you what you can do to make it runnier to put into your needles. So I'm going to put a dropper full of that hyaluronic acid in there. Okay, and then this is just a very small amount, like on the inside part of the cap. So a very, very small amount, and I'm just going to pour a little bit into there. So I've got a little bit of liquid, and I'm going to use an extremely clean spatula, skincare spatula, and I'm just going to mix this up. And so what you have left is going to be a much, if I can get the spatula to work, going to be a much thinner viscosity. And if you feel like that's still, like I feel like that's still a little too thick, so I'm going to add a couple more drops of distilled water. And I'm just going to keep mixing until this gets to the right viscosity. And then you can either use one of those like little syringes to like load it in there, or you can just try to scoop it. It's really hard to scoop though. So now we have a much more watery consistency to this. And that's the consistency we want, because it has to come out of those needles. If you do not want to get the other serum that I recommend, I do recommend another 100% hyaluronic acid serum. And if you don't get that one, you can still use the Baha, but you will need to use distilled water or sterilized water with it. It's really hard to find sterilized water though. If you have access to a pharmacy that does have sterilized water, you could easily use sterilized water. You want to make sure that every serum that you're using is going to be compatible with your skin before you're going into the actual needling process, because you don't want to needle anything in that's harsh or that just doesn't react to your skin well. Okay, so what are some other tips and tricks? Well, serum layering is big, right? Because we're not always going to be, now you can add the EGF serum to this and needle it in. I will tell you that it does have some preservatives in it though. It has some minor, but they're not, I don't think they're super strong preservatives on this one. So I don't think, listen, I needle serums that have a little bit of preservatives into my skin, but I will never recommend that you do that to yourself. So I have needled the EGF serum in. I think it's fine, but again, it does have preservatives, so if you're going deeper than a 0.5, you're going to want to be aware of that. There are EGF serums that don't have preservatives in them, but you're going to have to get them per vial. They're kind of harder to get. And it's okay to use the sandwiching method for any of your preservative type skincare that you also want to penetrate deeper now that you've needled. First, you use an essence to hydrate your base. Then you have your serum that you load into your needle. And then you needle like that. So you use the essence, you needle, use the essence, you needle. And then when you get done with either that section or your whole face, then you add your peptide serums. So that's when you go in with your EGFs and your matrixyls, and you go ahead and put that on your skin that does have those penetration marks. So even though your hyaluronic acid is going deeper into your skin with those penetrating needles, right? That are pushing that serum deep in your skin, you're also getting your EGF and your matrixyl into your skin by putting it on top, okay? And so that's just basically sandwiching it in. And then it absorbs in, and then you can put on your healing ointment and continue on with the rest of your day. Another thing that I need to note on this is you really want to make sure that you are refilling your chamber if it's going low. So that black will go up to here, right? And that just means that that serum is gone. Okay, that serum is gone. And so you'll want to use this little tool, right? Take it out of its package, open it up, push it back down. Okay, refill the serum and then close it and put it back into your needling device. When you are in the middle of needling, okay, you will see that you cannot see that black thing. Okay, but watch. So if you run out of serum, that's what you will see. So that's what it looks like if you run out of that serum in your chamber. Okay, so when you see that, you're like, uh-oh, now I have to unload it, pull it out, open it up, push it back down, refill my serum. So always check for that when you're doing it. Another thing is how you're holding the pen. So because of, it's kind of awkward, okay, when you load this chamber, you really want to be making sure that you're paying attention to the angle of this part, right? This is the actual needle part. And so that is really important. And you can go in a grid pattern. Honestly, you could do a circle with this. It is spitting out so much liquid that I don't think you're going to get any like tears in your epidermis at all. So you could really do circle motions. It does go faster when you do circle motions, or you could go ahead and do that same grid pattern that you that some people show that they do. The grid pattern's great. Guys, listen, they circle, they move around. When they do me at the spa, they're all over the freaking place. So they start and they just go like that, back and forth. Like, I don't know why in videos everyone's like, oh, you gotta have a grid pattern, you gotta do it this way, you gotta listen, guys, I go and get these treatments done all the time. I have had multiple people do me, and I can tell you this, that they all move back and forth, they all move side to side, they all do circles. I have never heard that at a med spa before, so I think you're fine if you do circles or grid pattern, but whatever you choose to do, you make that yours and you do that, okay? It's okay if you are nervous and scared, go ahead and do a grid pattern. Don't take my word for it. It's fine, but I want you to do what you feel most comfortable with, because these are needles and they are going into your skin and they are going deep into your skin. Well, a millimeter, like, right? We're going to like 1.25 millimeters. Like, this isn't deep, but you get the gist, right? Make sure that you change your cartridge. Do not reuse the same cartridge. Dr. Pen suggests not to. I'm always going to go with the manufacturer's suggestions. Now, Aftercare. Guys, please track your results with a diary. Note how your skin looked. Do some before and after pictures so you can really see the difference. Remember, it's going to be subtle changes at first, and big changes kind of snowball on themselves. So you might do one treatment, you might see a little difference, but it might not be until the third, fourth, or even sixth treatment that you really see massive changes starting to happen to your skin. Another thing that you need to note is your collagen is going up for 6 months after your treatment. So you are not it does not stop right after you get done. And so if you do more than one, like if you do several, right, within that 6 months, you're going to see so many changes because you're going to have so much collagen being cycled up and being, produced in your skin. Okay, so another thing is make sure that you're using a healing ointment or you're using like a moisturizer with a petroleum jelly, because you really want to focus on healing after you microneedle. Do not go into the sun for 2 days at least at all. No sunlight, no sunlight, no sunlight. Wear big floppy hats. Wear stuff on I don't know, whatever you need to do. Do not go out in the sun and get sun. You are a walking wound. your face is a wound after you microneedle. So please, 2 days at least. I would give it 3 to 4. But when you do, wear mineral sunscreen. You don't want to wear chemicals for the first few days of needling because your skin absorbs stuff more easily. And they have shown in studies that you actually absorb more of the chemicals from chemical sunscreen when you have been needled for the first 3 days. So please be careful and make sure that you wear your sunscreen. Do not go out and exercise. Do not go sweat. Do not go into the sauna. Rinse your face with cool water only, and then put your skincare on. It should be hyaluronic acid and your petroleum jelly, right? Your healing ointment. That's all, and maybe your EGF, but that's all you need, right? Less is more right now, and you are about healing it. Red light will also help your skin heal faster. Please use your red light afterwards. You don't have to ask me, just do it. Red light's great for healing your skin, and so anything that's going to promote wound healing is going to be good to do post microneedling. Please let me know, what other tips and tricks can I give you? I'm excited. I'm going to be doing some needling on some friends of mine, and I'm going to be documenting their progress to show you guys just how amazing this really is. I hope you're on this bandwagon. Let me know if you have any other questions, and I'll see you next time on Glow Up with Shelly.